Hey everybody, it's Christina Holloway here, and today we're going to talk about setting boundaries around work obligations when you're ready to go on vacation or on holiday. I recently had someone ask me about this. This weekend is a long weekend in the US, and the person happened to have planned a number of vacation days around the holiday. Specifically, she sold her house. She's having family come to visit her before she moves. Moving trucks are coming. She's taking about 7 to 10 days off. And a lot of people these days are taking vacation time, but it's not a vacation. They actually have personal things to tend to. So her question was, big projects are coming, or they've been planned, they're in the pipeline, and the issue is they know I'm going on vacation, and I'm trying to set expectations for what I can and cannot handle, mostly because I won't be, off on a tropical island where I don't have internet connection. I will be available. So if somebody sends me an email or says, can you get on a quick call, I feel obligated to do that. Now, the question really is, how do I set boundaries around how much I'm willing to make myself available, knowing that it's a working holiday or a working vacation. I'm actually working on personal objectives, and I'm not really getting a vacation or a break or a rest time. The statement that she made to me was something along the lines of, I know this is coming, but I'm going to be out. So how do you want to handle it? It's easier for us to say than it is for us to actually project that. So we're going to talk a little bit about our confidence around setting boundaries, especially around personal time. Let's get started. All right, so the first part is understanding when you're taking time off and that you've already scheduled that time off and that people around you are aware that you have time off. The other big issue is, do they respect those boundaries? I have time off. I won't be available. I'll be out of pocket. I get plenty of extended absences all the time. I'm out of the office until, next Monday. If you need to talk to somebody, call so-and-so, which that's all fine. That's all well and good. But many times, so-and-so usually calls me and says, I know you're out, but they came to me with a question. I thought I'd just run it past you first. We're going to set up making sure that we know we have a backup person who's well-versed in all the work that you're doing. So who your buddy is, your backup buddy at work, or your right-hand person if you're in a management position and you know that somebody will need to make decisions while you're out. Now, once you have this connection, this partnership, you want to nurture it. So you're spending time getting that person up to speed, letting them know these are all the projects that are on my plate. When I'm out, you're going to be dealing with these things. And if you have questions, only contact me with these types of questions and indicate one or two things that might fall off the rails that if they need to loop you in, they can loop you in. Now, this person in particular was asking me mostly because a major project is on the horizon, and it is all going to come down on the week that she'll be out for 7 to 10 days. So this is a while that she'll be out dealing with her personal changes in her life, and then there's going to be big stuff coming. So she wants to make sure people know and understand, I get that things are coming, but I'm not going to be available right away. And how are we setting expectations? This other half of it is about setting expectations for those above you. It's not always easy for us to feel like we need to assert ourselves, but a gentle reminder to tell people, I'm not going to be around. Even the whole week to 10 days before you take a week to 10 days off, you should be letting everyone know, it's on the calendar. I know I spoke to you about it. I know I've reminded you. I'm just letting you know. And every day you get closer and closer to your time off, remember I mentioned I'm having this time off. Remember I told you this time off is coming. How are we creating a backup plan or an emergency response plan while I'm out in case anything falls off the rails? Now, plenty of you, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you do know that there are measures to take in order to set boundaries around being on vacation. We all know there's an extended absence. We all know we share our information about our projects for those who are next to us so they can pick up the slack. Hopefully you're in that kind of team where it's all hands on deck and people can help you out. The bigger one is the feeling guilty. I've got 3 people who've told me this. I have downtime. I have those moments where I have to work on personal stuff. I have to manage my output for work, and I feel guilty. When I have that downtime, when I've decided to pivot into focusing on my home obligations, there's guilt associated with letting go of the work side of it. So how do I manage those feelings? Now, this also has to do with you setting up your own environment so that you feel comfortable managing your space when you can't be there. And mentally, you're already in that personal space. It can be a little difficult for you to switch from one gear to the next. It's easy to fall into this trap of saying, they think I'm so important, they have to call me on my vacation time. And we don't want to fall for that. Don't fall for that. And the reality is, if you leave, if you quit, if you're fired, if you have a terrible accident and you just can never come back, the company will survive without you. If you're working at a major, large corporation, if you're self-employed, that's a different story. But if you're working at a big company and you're out, then business is going to carry on. Now, they may call you and say you're the only person who can answer these questions. Setting your own boundaries and saying, yeah, I can answer those questions. There's got to be space where I know that I can navigate that. Is it 8 a.m. every morning or 8 a.m. for 3 mornings during my time off where I spend an hour just dealing with some phone calls? It depends on how high your position is. Managers, senior manager, directors, executive directors, VPs, anybody in this executive suite, those people, they're not completely unplugged, but when they get higher and higher up the chain, they do have a very big network of people who can make decisions for them, and they're more likely to be able to check out because they've created that network around them. If you're a lower level person, manager or below, you're struggling with feeling guilt of walking away from your work, even for a small amount of time, and then making sure that everything's taken care of so when you come back, you can pick up where you left off. The most responsible thing you could possibly do is make sure that you have everything in order so that when you leave, there is somebody who can answer important questions and that people who need the answers know where to go. The simple extended absence, please reach out to so-and-so, it goes a long way, but the other half of it is make sure so-and-so is completely up to date on the work that she's supposed to be doing and the answers she's supposed to be giving, and then have a contingency plan of, all right, I'm not going to be out on a desert island and unplug completely, so if you need me, there's 1 hour a day or there's 1 hour every couple days where you can reach out or I'll check my email. But it's up to you to set that boundary. It's up to you to allow a little bit of time if you want to, and it's up to you to make sure other people know and understand when you leave, there's somebody else to answer those questions, and nothing can be that urgent that it can't wait until you get back. Things don't fall that far off the rails where it's so catastrophic. If you're not there to answer one simple question, everything falls apart. You may feel that way. Other people may make you feel that way. That's where guilt comes from. But I ask you, step back and consider, how much does the balance affect your personal or emotional well-being if you feel guilt for stepping away even for a week or 10 days because you feel bad or you feel that your career development will suffer? You're struggling with bigger issues. There's bigger problems for you if you've positioned yourself or if you've allowed somebody else to position you as so critically important that you can't take time away. And that's a bigger problem. Just going to wrap this up really quick. What we talked about is how to feel like you have control over the narrative when you're taking time off. We don't want you to feel guilt. We want you to feel like you're empowered when you take time off. And if big projects are coming, make sure that you've communicated with the proper people to give them plenty of headway, that you're not going to be around as the days get closer. Make sure that your colleague or the person who works below you, someone you've assigned on your team, is very, very well versed in answering any of the questions that come up. And then have a backup plan, which means if it's urgent, there's 1 or 2 days during your time off that you can spend an hour answering emails or talking to your backup person to make sure everything stays afloat until you get back. But you do want to be able to check out of work, know that you've earned those days off, know that you're going to focus all of your time or a very healthy amount of your time, your emotional time, your mental well-being on the personal objectives that you created for yourself at home. So the person that I was talking to, she's moving, she's got a lot on her plate. This isn't a vacation, this is just time off so that she can deal with personal issues. And then she struggles with feelings of guilt of letting go of work obligations so she can deal with the personal side. Now, if anybody is struggling with those types of feelings while you empower yourself to take vacation time, then drop me a note and let me know. I'd love to have further conversation about what methods or how you're dealing with reconciling with those feelings of guilt, because we don't want that. If you're having that problem, take a step back, ask yourself why. And if the answer is either you put it on yourself, it's in your head, or you allowed someone else to create that narrative for you, ask yourself, what is it about that narrative that grabbed onto you? Because you want to let it go, and then you want to change the dynamic so that that person isn't pulling on you so strongly. All right, that's it for today. So thanks for watching. Have a nice holiday if you're in the US, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.